Now, this talk that I'm about to give is dedicated to a young king by the name of Michael Childs. Michael Childs was a high school senior at Hiram Johnson High School last year. And up until about middle of the year, Michael believed that college wasn't for him. And I had the amazing opportunity to walk Michael through the same things I'm about to speak with you. Now, the topic for the day, why youth don't listen to you. And it's simple. You haven't grabbed their attention. And if you grabbed it, you haven't kept it. See, when we grab and keep the attention of our youth, they become locked in. Better yet, they become laser focused. And there is nothing more potent than a focused life, one lived on purpose. You don't have to agree with me. I know I'm right. Here's a message. You want to be effective? Don't waste your life on stuff that doesn't matter. Be selective. Yes, sis, especially with all the friends you got to let them go if they slow you down or hold you so you don't reach the top. If they're not helping you, go and tell them fall back. And if they say, you acting brand new, say, yeah, I'm all that. And plenty more. See, this is what I'm living for. No more stand low with the chicken, spread my wings, now watch this eagle soar. Higher than you ever thought I could or thought I would. See, I was destined to be great, so I had to give up good. Knowing your purpose motivates your life. Even if you're dealt the wrong hand, still the plan is to play them right. Yeah, purpose produces passion. Now walk in yours like it's your new fashion. That spoken word piece that I just shared with you is one of the first things that I share when initially interacting with youth. And I share this for 3 reasons. 1, it grabs their attention, and youth listen to what has their attention. Number 2, it heightens their suspicion of who I am and what I'm about. And number 3, it's packed with some powerful information. And I bet each and every one of us today have some great information that if we shared it with our youth and they applied it, their lives would be transformed. So with the remaining time that I have with you today, I want to share with you some strategies and some techniques that I've mastered over my 17 years of being a youth speaker and a student success coach. Now, not only will these techniques help you grab and keep the attention, but ultimately, it will help you transform our youth's lives with ease. Now, when I say ease, I don't mean lack of difficulty or effort, but the ease that I'm referring to are 4 verbs that all begin with the letter E. And if executed with excellence, these E's can help our youth become the very best them that they were created to be. Simply put, 4 E's are all we need to help our youth succeed. And I want to say something real quick. Information plus application always equals transformation. So let's make sure that we share great information with our youth. So let's jump into the first E. Engage. Now, as the Learning Support Coordinator at Hiram Johnson High School, one of my main goals is to have a personal connection with our youth. And the only way for me to do that is engage. Now, there are many ways for us to engage with youth, but I want to highlight 2. The first way, meet youth where they are with the best that we have. And number 2, listen with your eyes. See, when you listen with your eyes, not only do you hear what isn't being said, but you also show youth that they're important because you pay attention by the eye contact that you give. Now, when it comes to meeting youth where they are with the best that we have, let me break that down for you. Meeting youth where they are. That could be something as simple as getting down on the level of a 4th grade little girl and listening to the information that she has to share with you. Or it could be meeting our youth at maybe one of their favorite places to hang out, maybe an event, or even their school. Now, here's a disclaimer. If you are going to meet with youth, especially youth that you don't know, get permission first. Because what won't happen is you having stranger danger alerts happening to you all over the world, and now you blaming me in this talk and saying, well, Dwight told us to engage like this. Listen, that's not what we're going to do. So make sure that you get permission. Now, when we talk about with the best that you have, that can be your best gift or your best talent. That could be your compassion. That could be your joy. That can also be your resources. Or it could be something simple as a fist bump. Now, I'm a fan of the fist bump more than I am of a handshake because I've never heard anybody talk about the awkward, lingering fist bump. And I've never heard anybody complain about sweaty knuckles. And when it comes to germs and interacting with youth, fist bumps are much better. So let's make sure that we engage. The next E, empathize. Most of us know how to sympathize, but not too many of us know how to empathize. And our inability to empathize causes us to minimize someone else's extreme. And that's never a good thing. So I want to share with you the art of empathy. The first thing that we must do is recognize their emotional feelings. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they upset? Are they mad? Are they frustrated? Are they overwhelmed? And as soon as we figure this out, we must immediately imagine ourselves in their shoes. Now, let me share with you a little bit of an example from the young man that I mentioned earlier. See, Michael was one of 8 siblings. His mother was a single parent. His father was incarcerated. And at the age of 10, Michael witnessed his older brother being murdered due to gang violence. Now, as I imagine myself in his shoes, and I want you all to do the same, what would you be thinking about at the age of 10? What would be going through your mind at the age of 14? And better yet, what would you be thinking about at the age of 18? Now, if it was me, I surely wouldn't be thinking about college. I would probably just be thinking about how can I make it to the next day? So when it comes to imagining ourselves in their shoes, we must make sure that we do it on a constant basis. And so it was easy for me to accept Michael's truth when he told me college isn't for me. And I want to share something with you all. Make sure when you tell their truth to you, you accept it, because that's just what it is, their truth. Now this next E, my favorite, encourage. Now I have to say something. If I was a superhero, my superhero name would be the Encourager. That probably would have had a greater effect if I actually ripped open my shirt and it said Encourager, right? But my wife bought this shirt for me, and I'm not trying to lose the brownie points that I got earlier. But I love encouraging. And I love encouraging so much that I actually wrote a book about it. It's called Dominate Your Day, 100 Empowering Statements That Encourage Greatness. Catchy, right? Now, for some of you discouragers out there, and I know we might have a few, but that's okay, I'm gonna help you. I wanna share with you what encouragement should be. Encouragement should be sincere, specific, public, personal, and frequent. See, when it came to Michael, every interaction I had with him, it always had to be specific. It always had to be sincere, and it always had to be personal, because he needed all 3. And now, I am the encouragement expert, so I'm always able to do all 3. But for some of you junior encouragers, I just encourage you to make encouragement frequent, because our youth need it. And the last E, empower. Now, I want to share with you all 3 ways for us to empower our youth to help them be the very best them that they were made to be. The first way, put them in the right position so they can maximize their strengths. Place them on the right platform so they can expose their greatness to themselves and others. And number 3, introduce them to new perspectives that will take them from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. See, with Michael, I put him in the right position. I invited Michael to an event at Sac State University. That was actually the university where Michael actually wanted to go after he started believing that he can actually attend college. So I invited him to an event that I was on the planning committee to put on. And once Michael got there, I introduced him to Charles and Andrea. They were part of the admissions and outreach department. So that's me putting them in the right position. But then I placed them on the right platform. At that event, I put him on a panel where Michael could share with middle schoolers and freshmen his experiences and his advice throughout high school. Let me share a little bit more about that. After Michael got off the platform, obviously Charles and Andrea were watching. They suggested that Michael write a letter of appeal to try to get accepted into Sac State, even though he had already missed the deadline. Michael agreed. He wrote the appeal. And in the appeal, he included his story. After he included his story, he submitted it. Soon after that, Michael went from being a young man who thought college wasn't for him to now being, at this very time, a first-generation college student at Sac State University. And that right there deserves our round of applause. Now, when it comes to introducing youth to new perspectives, I go all out, and I'm always trying to be creative. Now, when I say I go all out, I mean this. Over the past 2 years, I've given away 700 plus books of mine to youth in Sacramento and beyond. And I plan on doing more. But when it comes to being creative, this is the part that I love the most. When I'm in front of a youth, I ask them, and you can ask them the same thing. Have you ever heard of my real ABCs? Now, hold on. You can't say real ABCs like they're yours because they're mine. So you just say, have you ever heard of Dwight's real ABCs? Got it? I don't want to hear any of you all trying to take my ABCs. But I asked them, have you heard of my real ABCs? And their immediate response is, no. What are your real ABCs? And I say, I'm glad you asked. A, awaken your awareness to the opportunities around you. Believe in yourself even when those closest to you doubt you. Create your circle. Discover your gifts. Eliminate excuses that fly past your lips. Face your fears because behind them lies success. Give effortlessly and be sure to give your very best. Hinder hesitation. Go and make that decision. Intimidate insecurities that keep you locked up like prison. Jumpstart your joy. Kill them with kindness. Listen actively to add value, not minus. Maximize the moment, the minute, the second. Neglect negativity with positive thinking as your weapon. Operate in optimism. Pursue your wildest dreams. Question your motives, your circle, your team. Respond well to every situation. Surpass expectations by tapping into your greatness. Talk to yourself, something like Ali. Unlock your potential. First start with your self-esteem. Visualize your victory. Jordan did it best. Work with what you have, giving perfect effort, nothing less. X-ray your heart on a moment-to-moment basis. Yearn for so much more out of life. Please don't waste it. And now that I've come to the end of my real ABCs, I'm starting to believe I should have began with the letter Z. Because in order for these 25 letters to take you higher, there's one more thing I must share with you. Zeal is required. Now, as we prepare our minds and our hearts to interact more intentionally with our phenomenal, our amazing, I put words together, our phenomenal, amazing youth, let's remember to engage, empathize, encourage, and empower. Because like I said earlier, 4 E's are all we need to help our youth succeed. That's right, 4 E's are all we need to help our youth succeed. Matter of fact, say that with me. 4 E's are all we need to help our youth succeed. And due to the fact that the social well-being of our diverse youth is our responsibility, we must make impactful investments. We must invest what we have and what we know. So yes, it will take your time. And yes, it will take your effort. And yes, it will take your dedication. But it's worth it. More importantly, our youth are worth it. Now, I don't claim to know it all, but here's what I do know. Our youth are the gateway to a greater tomorrow. And that greater tomorrow starts with us today. So with that being said, once again, my name is Dwight Taylor Sr., Kia's husband, Dwight Jr., Isaiah, and Halea's father, and I approve this message. Dominate your day. Thank you.